So I'm being guided to share more of my story. And I can already tell this isn't going to be a long message, and honestly, I ain't got the space for it. I'm not gonna lie to you. But we got some cards here. And what I want to start with is an actual channeled message that I received earlier today while I was at work. And when I'm at work now, it feels like first I'm being guided to start this message off by talking about just the gratitude and the blessings that I have for right now. It is such a blessing for me to be able to go to work and not only enjoy being there, and obviously, if I overwork myself, that changes, but like, not only enjoy being there, but also be able to take a breath. Now, I started this message by being able to just take a breath. And that's what it feels like to be able to just take a breath. And it's just like this sigh of relief because I feel so grateful to be in a space where I'm working, but it doesn't really feel like work. And the time's actually like working in my favor because it doesn't necessarily feel like work. And I'm looking up and I'm just seeing this beautiful, like, pond like in front of me, and like this beautiful just greenery, the trees and nature. Honestly, sometimes there's like white-tailed deer and there's like various just giant birds and so many eagles and just a lot of butterflies and beautiful flowers, and it's genuinely really beautiful to be there. And I've never been there at a place where I can, like, I'm at work and that's like my beautiful scenery. Now I've been at jobs where I've grabbed onto just any piece of nature that I could just to keep myself grounded, but this is something completely different. I am seriously surrounded by nature, literally right outside this window. Oh, and there's a butterfly. Literally right outside this window is nature. And even this, me sitting here, this is a literal book nook. Do you know how long I've wished for a book nook? Like, seriously, being a reader, being someone who's grown up literally just reading a paperback or hardcover book with the radio on in the back. Like, that is me. Like, I'm a nerd through and through. I've wished for a book nook just to sit there, to sit here and be in this spacious room with this book nook. And I just open the window and I can eat here and I can do whatever and work on just whatever and talk to you and just look outside. And I see great spirits sometimes fly past, or so many butterflies. I've been seeing rabbits. There's just so much beautiful nature, and this in itself is a manifestation. The job is a manifestation. Tell me how I jumped from making $12 an hour to making double that and more. Like, how did I do that? But that's the point of this video. The video is about taking a leap of faith. It's about taking a leap of courage. It's about having courage in not just yourself, but in God. And so I want to start, and yeah, thank you, God, for literally these blessings right now. There's so many more blessings, like being able to just open my other window and see the mountains. Like, this is this is beautiful. This is literal heaven, and I wouldn't have been here if I had not taken a leap of faith. If I had not trusted in God. Okay, they want me to share this story. I literally came here with negative $35 in my bank account. I'm not even playing with you. Negative $35 in my bank account. I didn't know how I was going to do this. I have a video that's literally talking about me, and I didn't share this with anybody, but it's just a video that I knew that was what was for myself then was going to be for many people later. But it was a literal video of me just talking about, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. I have no money. I'm struggling. My family's struggling. Don't know how I'm going to pay my phone bill. Don't know how I'm going to do this. Don't know how I'm going to eat. Don't know how I'm going to travel. Don't know what's going to happen, if this is like a scam, if this is going to be safe, what this is. Like, don't know. Don't know anything. Not sure. but I was being guided to take a leap of faith, and I was being guided to trust in God and then just go for it. So even though everything in me was screaming just like no, like there was still this part of me that was excited. And when I thought about this, I literally jumped for joy, which I am a sacral authority in human design. So for me, those physical sensations are like it. That's it. That was telling me that this was it. So I came here and literally trust, and everything just worked out. I'm not even playing with you. I can't even tell you everything, how everything just worked out, but it worked out. I received the funds. I received, you know, everybody here was just so freaking kind, and literally I didn't have to worry about all the ride share. I didn't have to worry about most of the things that I thought I was going to have to worry about, or any of the things that I thought I was going to have to worry about, because it ended up being taken care of for me, and I was okay, and somehow I made it, and I'm here, and I'm not just surviving, but I'm actually thriving. So that is your sign right there to take that leap of faith. But this message came through for me earlier today while I was there, and it was literally at 12:34 p.m. and it is titled "You Are the Main Character." I wrote, "You are the main character. I have never read a story or seen a fairy tale where the main character doesn't get what she/he deserves, asked/prayed for, or wanted. So because I am the main character, this earth is literally rigged in my favor. It is literally designed, this earth, literally designed to go my way, to go in my favor, to give me what it is that I truly desire. So if I decide to do something different, do something out of the norm, do something the generations before me have never done before, my story is not going to end here. As far as I'm concerned, we've been in the pre-story this entire time. Because I never truly felt like I was living, I've been in survival mode this whole time. So the second that I decide that I'm actually going to live, that is when my story begins. And I had to bring this up. Whenever I read a story or a fan fiction, I mention I'm a straight nerd. I love my fan fiction, okay? Wattpad girly, let's go. Okay, but I'm more of an AO3 girly, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, but I am so not interested in the stories with established relationships. Why? Because it's not about the end result, it's about the story, the journey. I want to know how they got where they're going to get. I want to know the details. So I can't expect to open a book that says chapter 1 backstory and turn the page to chapter 2 and it says the end, she got rich. That's motherfucking boring and weird as hell. I want something that takes me on the journey with them. So then I can expect that if I do something scary, something out there, if I take that leap of faith, even if I were to fail, that wouldn't be the end of the story. I wouldn't just die because I failed at something, especially when failure doesn't mean death. Failure means an opportunity to do something different. I am the main character. So when I take that leap of faith, just as I have watched and read many, many times before and have even experienced, God will be ready there to catch me if I fall. When I said that you are the main character, when I said that to myself earlier, it really shifted something in me because I didn't see it in this way before. We had been talking about, and when I say we, I mean like the manifestation girlies and guys, the law of assumption, the law of attraction. we're always talking about how we're the main character, but I had never really seen it in this way. That if I'm the main character, then that really means that I will always be okay. That even if I leap, there will always be a net to catch me if I fall. I'm hearing Safety Net by Ariana Grande, but I'm not just hearing for love, I'm hearing for opportunities as well. Even if I take this, even if I fail terribly, that will never be the end of the story. And you know, what good story have you read? Like, let's take Harry Potter, for example. You know, like, honestly, growing up, I'm gonna be honest, I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness. So watching stories that held sorcery and magic in it and owning your power within, I wasn't allowed to watch. I wasn't even allowed to eat Lucky Charms. Period. That's how severe it was. So when I say it's so important right now to take that leap of faith and to do something that the real generations before you have never done, it is so important. It is so important. I can't even tell you what I was going to say prior to this because it's leading me on to the generations. It's literally leading me into ancestry. Like, I'm feeling the energy right now heavy. It's leading me to ancestry and doing something that the generations before you have never done. So me sitting there talking about how I grew up literally not even being able to, that's what I was talking about, the stories. Okay. But literally being able to, not even being able to watch those stories and those timelines, not being able to associate myself with having that and owning the magic within. But somehow I found my way. You know how I found my way? I went against the grain. I was the black sheep of the family. And I said, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to read Twilight. I'm going to, watch all kinds of magic stuff. I'm going to read Wiccan books. I'm going to get into spirituality and zodiacs. And even if you say that that's the devil energy, I'm still going to get into it because it interests me and I have a natural, curious mind. And I need to owe it to myself to satisfy that. So take that story for example. There's never been a story where they've messed something up terribly, and then that was just the end of the story. How many sequels are there in I literally just for freaking got it. Harry Potter. How many sequels are there? How many stories are there? How many books? There's so many because the story just never ended. Even when there was just something so monumental that came and you're like, "Damn, how is he going to solve this? How is he going to do this? How is he going to get over that?" He ended up getting over it. Somehow, some way, something happened and he ended up getting over it. More people were added into his team and he ended up getting over it, fighting it. Now it's funny because the cards that we have here, and I bring up Harry Potter and I bring up he ended up fighting it, but the cards that came up and they came out sideways. So I learned that when cards come out sideways, that means that that's what's currently going on in your life that maybe you may not be able to see at this time, but it's currently going on. And even if you are able to see it or you're not, it's what's going on in your reality. So right now we have the card with conflict. And with this conflict card, I'm getting that yeah, okay. There's a lot of anxiety and a lot of like, my body is like in this like shaking mode. It's like, it's trauma. It's the trauma stored in my body. That's what it is. That's what I'm feeling now. The trauma stored within my body. And when I see this conflict card, I don't just think physical battles. I don't just think physical conflict with other people. I also think about the mental conflict that you have going on. And when this, with this trauma just so present in my body right now, it is literally that fight between me being soul led and me being body led. It is me literally fighting the past, the generations before, and not physically fighting. We want to give love, whether it's to ourselves, whether it's to people in the past, whether it's to our generations. We always want to give love and we always want to give forgiveness because it's not for them, it's for us. But when I see this, it's this physical fighting of this physical battle of fighting everything you've ever known before, fighting everything you've ever known before, everything that you have ever learned, everything that you have ever picked up. You know what I have been learning lately? So much mother wound healing, bro. I've been learning so much mother wound healing and how literally most of the fear that is literally within my body is not mine, it's hers. Most of the anxiety and the worry and the doubt that is within my body is not even mine, it's hers. So I'm literally having to physically and mentally and spiritually and just divinely fight against that current that does not serve me in order to swim in one that actually does. But with the other card that you also have out, it's also the Ace of Pentacles, and that is the potential for abundance. So it literally talks about financial new beginnings. It talks about new jobs. It talks about, just getting into this new beginning mode, right? And having this whole, like it literally says, potential for abundance, be here and present. So that tells me that that's what's currently going on. And maybe it's a decision that you have going on. Maybe it's a decision that you're going through currently where you have to decide whether you need to travel somewhere, where you need to go somewhere, whether you need to beat someone, whether you need to do something, whether you need to just take this leap of faith and do something that you have never done before. And that's what's happening right now. But it's literally spirit saying that this thing holds the entire potential for abundance. It's not something that's going to be outside of you that you have to fight for. You have to, no, like this wealth is within you. And what you're doing, just you doing that leap of faith, just you taking that leap of faith, is you activating more and more and more of that abundance and wealth that is already inside of you, that you're going to be shown as a mirror. And then we also have the King of Swords out here. And when I got this card, it was almost like this was God's energy. Like he, she, they, whatever. Sometimes for me, it's a masculine figure because I think of it as a present father in my life. But with this energy, it was just like coming here to tell you the truth. So, like we just talked about, you are the main character. Nothing that you do, you cannot make a wrong decision in your life. You understand that? You cannot make a wrong decision in your life. You are the main character. How many stories, literally just relate it to your favorite story, bro. Literally, how many stories have you read? They've made this huge mistake, but it has to get fixed, doesn't it? Or it has to get cleaned up, or something has to happen. You want to see what happens next. You're on the edge of your seat. You want to see what happens next. And that is your life right now. You are on the edge of your seat. You want to see what happens next. But God is saying that this is a co-creation between you and spirit. So this is something that you are doing with God. God's asking that you take the back seat right now and let them drive the boat. Let them drive the boat for a little bit because you've been trying to control for a lot. You've been trying to control a lot of your life right now. And how has that worked out for you? I keep seeing that therapy commercial that talks about. So what would you say to anyone who hasn't done therapy and you ask that $1 million question, if your life has been currently working for you? And it's just like that is the essence of it. How has your life been working for you with you trying to control every single aspect of it and you trying to do all of these things that your fear has led you to believe is the right decision? that everybody prior to you has led you to believe that it's the right decision? How many times? And so it's this energy of God coming through and literally being like, listen to this truth right now. Listen to this truth that's being here, not just that's being said right now, that's within your soul. Listen to the truth that's within your soul and understand that right now there's no real decision when it comes to choosing something that you want to do and doing something that you feel like you have to do. There is no real decision. I don't care if it comes to money. I don't care if it comes, because we just talked about God being your source. So the problem isn't money. The problem isn't what will you do. The problem isn't how are you going to do this. It's not the fear that lives within you. That's not the problem. The problem is, are you going to live the life that you said that you were going to live? Are you going to live the life that you say you want to live? Or are you going to sit back and continue to do the same things that has led you to be where you are now, and it's not completely where you want to be? Even, because we started this with gratitude, so even if everything has happened to you and, sorry, everything hasn't happened to you, everything has happened for you. So even if everything has happened for you in this life, and you're in here in this grateful mode right now, it's also understanding, okay, if there's somewhere that I want to be even bigger than this, then I need to understand that I need to let go of it. I need to surrender. So this talk is about surrender. And we also have the judgment card here. So yes, it is a forgiveness of the past self, okay, while we're sitting here talking about all the things that you've done or the things that you haven't done, whatever, who cares? You cannot make a wrong decision in your life. So everything that has led you up to this, don't stress, and don't sweat it. Okay, I was trying to say that at the same time. Don't stress, don't sweat it. Everything that has led you up to here has it's just been the pre-story. It's the backstory to everything that's been going on in your life. It's adding the flavor in your story. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about what you've been through. Don't worry about the struggles. Don't worry about what you got going on. All of that is your backstory. And it's part of what you want to read in your story. Now it's time for you to add the zest. It's time for you to add in all the fun parts and the adventure of the story, the true climax. So let's go. Let's go. Let's hop on that adventure. Let's go, babes. Let's go. Because it's time. It's time for you to literally evaluate where you have been and say, okay, that's been a major part of my story, and that's fine. But I steer the boat too. This is a co-creation with God. So I can make anything happen within my reality. And being the main character, even if I want to go for something and I don't fully know if it's going to work out, just the fact that I want to go for it is the key that I should go for it. That is the key. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to follow that. And I'm not going to care about the money or the how or the when or whatever else is involved, because that's not up to me. That's God's job. And God loves doing that job for you. So let him do that job. So I'm going to give it to God. And I'm just going to flow with it. And I'm going to follow this. And I'm going to lead to it. Because, my eyes are being drawn to the card that's on the top of the deck. And it's literally the Five of Pentacles in reverse, which talks about the financial and the luck improvement, the end of difficulty, positive change, and a good direction. And that's exactly what happens when you choose to do what you want to do in this life, because you are the main character. So how are you going to write your story? I kept hearing, oh my God, that's why. Kept hearing, and the rest is still unwritten. Like the song by Natasha Bedingfield. I love that girl. Okay, literally, I kept hearing that. I kept hearing that, and that is why. Because how are you going to write your story? The rest is literally still unwritten. How are you going to write it? And you get to do that with God. You get to co-create. So ask God. Tell him. Tell her. Tell them. Say, God, I surrender this completely to you. I give this to you. You tell me where I should go. Make it so obvious to me where I should go. Give it to me in a sign, in a billboard. Give it to me, in a message like this, in a reading. Make it so clear and obvious that this is where I should go. And then align me with the people, the places, and the things, and the funds to make that happen and to thrive in that decision. As the black sheep of the family, I'm making that decision right now. You're not going to tell me that I can't listen to the magic that I hold within. I'm going to listen to the magic that I hold within, and I'm going to make my own sovereign choices. And I'm going to make the life my own because I am the main character. I decide this life with God in co creation. You know why? Because, we may even be able to see the bird's eye view, but God can see above the bird's eye view. So that's why I leave it to God. Because I trust in a power that's higher than me, that can see higher than me. Because sometimes I do thank God for even just being grown up a Jehovah's Witness, because one of the things that they really emphasize on was seeing the beauty and the intricacies that is in life. The way light refracts